Hey everybody, what's up? Jegs Garage here. Gonna do a silly project today. Maybe not too silly. I have really become accustomed to little features that I like in other cars. One of which is audio controls on the steering wheel. Now the Jeep TJ never really got that many options. I am missing cruise control, which was one of the few options you could have gotten on this 2006 TJ. So there's not much going on, not much creature comforts. Now I do have an aftermarket radio, and thank goodness it does have a volume knob. I'm one of those old school guys. I do not like touchscreen volume controls. I don't mind touchscreens. It's the volume. I like this head unit. It's great. I wouldn't mind getting something with some. I've never had any kind of Android Auto or CarPlay or anything like that. Wouldn't mind upgrading the head unit, but unfortunately most of the ones on the market do not have a volume knob unless you go with a Chinese brand Android based head unit. Some of them have a volume knob, but then you kind of give up some other robust features that some of the other big players like Kenwood and Alpine have. So today we're going to remedy that situation by adding audio controls to the steering wheel of the TJ. That has been done a couple times, and the way I'm going to do it, I think, is somewhat unique. Maybe not. I didn't see many people doing it the same way that I'm doing it. I thought about getting this is a Pioneer, so you can get the little steering wheel control that you strap on. That's fine. I don't like that idea. I don't know why. I used to have one in my old Blazer. It worked fine. I thought about getting Bluetooth controls, and I was going to kind of integrate them into these little areas where the cruise control would be. The problem with that is they seem to sync with your phone, not with the head unit. So when you change the volume or change the track, you're interacting with your cell phone. I listen to CDs still. This has got a CD slot, and also the radio. And also, I just didn't want to have to pair it to my phone. I have too much other crap paired to my phone. So it got me thinking, and I noticed around the backside of the steering wheel, there's these oval areas. And my wife has a 2016 Durango, and it has the audio buttons in that same spot. I'm like, man, maybe that's a Chrysler thing. Maybe this back panel is similar to other back panels that have it. So that led me down a rabbit hole. I was able to get on the forums, and the one write-up I found for adding audio controls was on a Jeep that already had cruise control. So basically, the task is that you take your steering wheel apart, you swap the clock spring inside with a JK clock spring, which has cruise control and audio control outputs. You put a WJ steering wheel on, which has the buttons on the back and the cruise control on the front, and then you put your TJ airbag back in. The problem I have with that is, number one, I don't have cruise control, so there's no point. Number two, it required you to rewire some of the wiring, and I think some of it was airbag related. I do a lot of sketchy stuff. I do not like messing with airbag wiring. I understand it's just wiring. I understand it's just an electrical circuit. It's just not my thing. The newer Jeeps are dual stage. This is single stage, and I think that there's like one squib versus two squibs. I'm not sure, but you have to basically swap some wires. I didn't like that idea. So that was awesome. It looks like an awesome plan. It probably works great. My plan is very similar, except I'm going to keep everything except for the backplate. What I did was I went and got a WJ backplate. This has the audio buttons. You can see what I'm talking about right there. On both sides. It's 3 buttons. It's a rocker up and down and a center button. And after looking at pictures of it, and now that I have it in my hand, it looks exactly like the backplate to the TJ steering column. So even inside it looks the same. And judging how the WJ steering wheels are the same, it just kind of started to make sense to me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all this apart. I'm going to add this in. Now, the cool thing about, and this might be the 03 to 06 TJs only, but at least on my TJ, it's wired for cruise control in the column. There's no wiring outside. There's no plug up front. I'm missing most of the wiring, all except the only wires that are here are the 2 wires for the controls that go down through the clock spring and over to the PCM. One is a sensor ground, and the other is your input for your resistor ladder button system. So my brain goes, cool, you've got 2 wires coming out of a clock spring that you're not using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repurpose those 2 cruise control wires for these 2 audio wires. And the other component that we're going to need to this, which you needed in the other method, is a steering wheel interface. So this is a PAC made by PAC. It's the SWI RC1. It's not very expensive. It's pretty basic. It's very common to use this when you're adapting your factory steering wheel controls to an aftermarket head unit. There's some dip switches you change, and basically, as long as you set the dip switches and wire it up properly, it will just function to a pre-programmed functionality in your head unit. Volume up and down, track skip, source switch, and then there's like another one that's automatic. And it's different from car to car, and you can actually program it to do other functions. So if you wanted one of those buttons to mute, for instance, or one of those buttons to pick up phone call or end phone call, you can program it to do that, and you can do long press. So you can have 6 functions short press and another 6 functions long press. So 12 functions total out of this thing. The way this works is it gets, it gets a ground, it gets battery, it gets ignition. So I'm going to tie into the back of this for that. And then essentially it gets a signal wire from your audio controls. And the way that the instructions say to do it, basically I'm going to follow everything for a 2000 Grand Cherokee, because that's what this is from. So underneath your column, I already have some of this taken apart. You don't really need to see how to do that, but basically the bottom half of the console is off, and I have the kick plate off. This little bundle of wires right here that's just kind of taken out, this is your clock spring wiring. The green wires coming out of the yellow plug or airbag, don't mess with those. The red with the yellow stripe is your horn. The blue, I don't know if it's got a stripe. Blue with brown stripe maybe. That's your sensor ground. And the purple is your signal wire coming out of your cruise controls. The instructions tell you on the Grand Cherokee, basically you're going to cut these 2 wires, which would, if we're calling these the audio wires now, you're going to ground one, and you're going to run the sending wire from your PAC here. It's like a data wire. There's a data wire, and that wire goes straight from the PAC down to this. So essentially all you're doing is building a resistor ladder. So you got a ground, and then you have another wire that goes through your buttons, and your buttons have different resistors in them. I know this is a little bit of theory and talking here, but see all these resistors in here? Each time you press a button, each one of those 6 resistors is different, and it's going to send a different resistance reading to whatever your interface is, whether it be your ECM or in this case that PAC controller. So that's my theory on how this is going to work. So I'm going to stop talking some here, and I'm not going to show every disassembly step. You can find out how to take this apart. Plenty of videos. This airbag is 2 10, I think they're 10s or 8s. Maybe they're 8s. 2 bolts right there. It just comes straight off. Big nut in the center of the steering wheel. Loosen it. Yank the wheel around. Hopefully you get lucky and it pops off. And then I'm probably going to pick the video up over on the bench, because I have to do some wiring swaps, and I actually have a really neat idea for how I can do this without cutting any wires behind the steering column or in the steering wheel itself. The only wire I'm going to cut is this purple wire. And I'm hoping that the sensor ground, which seems to be a ground picked up everywhere, I can hook a meter to this blue wire and touch any piece of metal in the car, and I'm getting a ground signal. So it may be grounded through the ECM, through the ECU, but it's still a ground nonetheless, and we're not talking about a high load accessory. It's not like I'm tying it to an air horn or something. It's a very low, like a 5-volt signal or something. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that blue wire grounded. I'm going to test that first, and the only wire I'm going to have to cut or splice is this purple wire. I am going to cut it because I'm certain the purple wire goes all the way to the computer, so I don't want to just try to wiretap it. I don't want to send any weird signals back to the ECU. So I'm going to cut it, wire it, and then of course behind the radio there's going to be some wires that I have to splice. But since I didn't install this radio, I don't know what I'm going to find back there, but we'll see. So let's get started. I'm going to tear all this stuff apart. I'll probably pick the video back up when I have everything on the bench over there so we can take a look at it. Okay, now that I have the wheel off and I have the backing plate off, hopefully you can kind of see my idea here. They are identical, which is really cool. That means that this is going to mount on that, no problem. Funny thing, well, not funny, I guess, but another option for y'all is you don't actually need to buy this. You can get these switches for a few dollars a piece. You can get switches that are similar to these, but they have leads coming off this way with plugs versus sockets. The problem is if you buy these switches, replacement switches, you're not going to have this. I paid $12 for this, honestly, shipped. So I'm way ahead on for sure on that. But I'll tell you in a minute how I'm going to make this work wiring-wise without doing any wiring changes to my Jeep's center actual column. But you could see that with a little Dremel work, you could open these up and get those switches in there. No problem. Tons of room. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all the wiring out of this. Here's my idea. So these are the cruise control wiring. If you come over to the Jeep, this wire does not, as far as I can tell, I can't get this harness to come out like it does in the WJ. But the important thing to note is these plugs for the cruise control are the same as these plugs. Why is that important? Because the pins inside of that plug are the same as the pins inside of this plug. It's 4-cavity versus 2-cavity. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this housing from these wires. And in the Jeep, I'm going to remove the cruise control and I'm going to insert the wires right into that plug. That means that the cruise control wiring in the Jeep is going to plug right into these switches. No splicing behind the wheel. Everything's going to plug in. Everything will remove just like it did today. The only wire I'm going to cut and splice is the signal wire coming out of the bottom. All I have to do is make sure I'm being smart about which wire I put into the connector from the Jeep steering column. So I have to figure out, I have to go back to my wiring diagram. Now I don't think it matters so much on the Grand Cherokee because the audio controls both go to the computer. And neither one of them is a sensor ground, which is weird to me. So we're going to use some little bit of common sense, and a little bit of troubleshooting, and a little bit of experimenting to figure out the direction of these wires. But that's the idea. Swap that plug into that plug on the Jeep, and you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get the wiring harness out of here, get it snapped back on the steering wheel, get the steering wheel back into the Jeep. Everything else can be done on the Jeep. So that's where we're going next. Okay, so here we are back in the Jeep. Steering wheel's on, back plate's on, buttons are in, they feel awesome. Now I'm working on wiring. So I've removed the pin from this, or the plug from this. What I have here is two colors. One is black with a blue stripe, one's green with an orange or red stripe. The black with blue is ground, and the green with orange is the signal wire. That matches up with the purple wire under the column. I've tested that with the meter, confident. On the Grand Cherokee harness, what you need to do, and I'll show you my phone, after you go in and put in all your info, like which model of remote you're using, what stereo you're using, all that jazz. It gives you your pin set, your dip settings. So you follow that, then you go to next. This is going to tell you what your functions are from standard. So volume up, volume down, source, track up, track down, preset up. And that's how it is in my wife's Durango too. And then it says down here, if you want to reassign buttons, you follow those directions. We're not going to do that right now. Then you have your wiring instructions. Now you're not going to be able to see that because this thing does not zoom, but it goes on to tell you that the 6-pin connector behind the steering column is where you're going to make your connections behind the steering column. It says ground pin 4, which is red and black, and cut pin 3, red and yellow. that's what you're going to connect the interface's white wire to. So the interface harness is somewhat confusing looking. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it must be this white wire out of this main harness. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, out of the Grand Cherokee harness, here you have your red with black and your red with yellow. So red with black is supposed to get grounded. So I'm going to match that red with black up with this black with blue. That's going to get put into that cavity. And then the red with yellow is going to go with this green and orange or whatever it is. That means that I can plug this right into that switch, and it's going to act like the Grand Cherokee wiring is. And underneath the column, I'll make the connections exactly like I would in a Grand Cherokee and port over to the switch. So I can show you when I'm all done. It's kind of hard to finicky to get these things out, but you basically just need a little screwdriver. And it's kind of opposite how a lot of these connectors work. A lot of these connectors with the cavities, once you release the lock, you would stick your tool into the little opening and it would release. But in these plugs, the smaller opening is actually the connection, and the bigger opening is where you stick your screwdriver to release it, just so you have a little bit of feedback on that. So really simple to get off. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, get this all wired back up, get the airbag back in, and finish the rest of my connections outside of the steering column. Okay, so I've got these plugs switched. Now you'll see instead of cruise control plugs, I now have audio plugs, and they will just snap right into the audio plugs. So I am good to reinstall everything, and I should be connected through the clock spring properly for the audio controls. So cool. Well, okay, here we go. I've got it all back together. Behind here, it's just a few wires. It is the red wire goes to your switched ignition, the yellow wire goes to your constant 12, the black wire goes to ground, just like a normal head unit. The white wire goes to the signal wire from your controls, and then there's a 1/8 inch, basically a stereo jack that plugs into the back of your radio. Under the column, all I have is, well, you can't really see much, but I found another purple wire, and it is spliced in right here and run all the way up, and I've just got everything kind of like taped up nice and neat. Column still adjusting all that. And that's pretty much it. You can see the buttons installed, and here's how it works. So key on, radio is going to come on. Have it set on CD already, but you can see, like obviously I can't play some music for you guys because I'll get flagged, but there's volume. The button on the right, so the right two toggles are volume by default. The button in the middle switches the source, which is awesome. Digging that. And then the left button here, the left rocker, will skip tracks back and forth. The middle button doesn't seem to do anything when you're in CD mode. When you're in radio mode, however, the left rocker will then cycle through your presets, and the little button actually does like scan forward in the radio signals, and then over here, obviously, it's volume up and down. So it works really well. It just seems like it works. So I'm down with that. Oh, and if you hold the source button on the right, it turns the radio on and off. So it's basically exactly what I needed. About the only thing different that I would like is I wouldn't mind if the volume was on the left, because I have a 6-speed. My right hand is usually busy, but it's still much easier after shifting gears to reach up here and click, 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 than to reach over here and goof around. More so to try to hit these tiny little buttons for skipping tracks or going through my presets, because sometimes I'm not sure which button I'm on. I don't like looking down that long. So overall, yeah, great success. I still have some leftover pieces. That's the Grand Cherokee harness. Only use the plugs off of that. The pack steering wheel interface is cool. I might mess around with changing the button configurations, but probably not. For now, I'm just going to put it all together and enjoy this working how I needed it to work. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.